What's up, everybody? Today we have a new Inside the Builder's Hut episode, and today I'm going to be reacting to it, giving my honest thoughts. I have not watched it yet, so all of this will be kind of new to me. So let me know what you guys think down below, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it.
Welcome to Inside the Builder's Hut. Today, we're gonna dive into one of the hottest and most debated features in Clash right now, crafted defenses. We'll be talking about our goals for the future, balancing, future plans.
I love
and
those
much more. We're also gonna have a very special guest joining us
statues
today.
on the left.
We will bring burning questions from you, the community. So let's just jump right in. Okay, Seth, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's always exciting to be inside the builder's hut.
Right? Yeah, it's so cozy here.
It's a lot bigger than it looks from the outside.
Right? So, crafted defenses. New feature came out about 10 days ago.
Crafted
at the time of this
defenses.
recording. And how are they doing?
First thing I want to say is crafted defenses, overall, in my opinion, I think are a great concept. Had a lot of controversy when they were first added because people were trying to say there was a pay-to-win aspect to it. Whether or not you guys watching may or may not agree, I think the concept at least is good, adding diversity. But let's see what they have to say in terms of the merged or the crafted defenses.
Are they balanced? Are there any concerns? How things are going so far?
Well, yeah, at the moment we're recording, it's been out less than 2 weeks, so we're still kind of in that first impression phase of
Wow.
it. But the first impression so far, from a balancing
Been like 3 weeks now, I
has
think.
been really exciting. You know, we were testing these 3 different crafted defenses. They're very different. I mean, the flame spinner and the hook tower are completely different mechanics, and we were worried, like, how would players use these or interact with them? So I got some numbers to share with you. There have been over 71 million battles with seasonal defenses since we've launched the update. In those, 51% of people are using Flame Spitter,
That's crazy.
29% of people are using Hook Tower, and 19% are using Crusher Mortar.
That's crazy. So the majority of people are using Fire Spinner. The second most are using Hook Tower, and the third most are using Crusher Mortar. That's very interesting considering that the top Town Hall 17 meta right now is Root Riders, and then second off is Dragons, and then the third off is whatever else. But I guess the main thing that all of those strategies have in common is RC Charge, so that's what the Fire Spinner is meant for.
With the last percent, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So about 50, 30, 20. Really nice spread. It seems that every one of these defenses has, you know, a fan or somebody who really likes it. So yeah, overall, from a gameplay perspective, we're really excited about how it's giving players more variety in the defenses, allowing you to customize your defense a little bit in a way that wasn't really accessible to other town halls before.
We know that's great, but there's much more than there's the balancing, right?
There's more.
There's more.
Okay.
Oh.
And this part is a bit more tricky. We're talking about player concerns.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay. So the first thing is about them being temporary.
Oh.
How do you feel about temporary defenses? Why temporary? What was the goal here?
I'll try not to pause, by the way, as much. Normally I do these reacts on stream, but I thought when it comes to update content and when it comes to fresh content, I might as well react to it before it comes out and then kind of post it, and I'll just look at it on stream. So let me know what you guys think about this format.
Sure.
And I'll try not to pause a
The
lot.
crafted defenses and really the supercharges, any of the temporary content that we're doing, this is something that we are really working on in order to make the game great for new players and existing players. So let's step back.
Keeping it
A
fresh.
few years ago, a new player who installed, who was trying to get to, say, Town Hall 15 when that was the max, it might take you 6 years from install to get there.
Yeah.
That's way too long. If you enjoy Clash of Clans and you want your friend to play with you, that's too much of a gap for them to ever really catch up.
Especially if they're
So we
casual.
started doing this thing where we were slashing the costs and timers of tons of the old content so that you could get through it. But then there's also this problem of, well, what about max Town Hall players? Do we have enough content for them to stay engaged and interested between Town Hall 15 and 16, 16, 17, 17, and 18, and so on? So
Yeah.
the reason why we think temporary content like this is really good is it gives max Town Hall players something to do, tons of upgrades, things to really build and invest into. However, when we move to Town Hall 18, and now you've got players trying to catch up and get through Town Hall 17, they don't have this huge backlog of permanent content that they need to upgrade. We saw this maybe the most prominently in like Town Hall 12,
Yep.
where there's double levels. Because
Yep.
that was our attempt then, years ago, of how do we give enough content to max Town Hall players? The problem is that now people going through Town Hall 12 have these double levels. It doesn't feel good.
One thing I want to add to this, 'cause I've been saying this on my streams and my videos in the past. Town Hall 12, Town Hall 11, arguably Town Hall 12 though is in my opinion, one of the most boring town halls currently in the game, just because of the amount of upgrades, double upgrades, and the reason why, he kind of mentions it here, but the reason why is back in the day, if you have been playing for as long as I have, years and years and years, town halls did not come out every single year. They came out every few years, if that. And that means that if they're not releasing a new town hall every year, they have to either release, new troops or new levels. And they decided to go mainly with the new levels. So that's why you have cannon level, 12, 13, 14 at like town hall 12 and town hall 11 and town hall 9. Those had those double upgrades because they had to like kind of compensate. But now that has caused an issue with players trying to catch up per se, because they have to do all these double upgrades, and that's why, in my opinion, kind of not like just adding on rushing. I got to make a video on this. Is the meta now to like catch up? But yeah, and that's also why superchargers, I think, overall are solid, even though they might seem controversial to some people. It makes sense because it's like new players and even previous players are coming back to the game trying to catch up. It's just a good catch up mechanic, and yeah, especially I think they said they're going to give rewards too. So
we're trying to strike that balance here with temporary content so that max town hall players have infinite stuff to do while waiting for the next town hall. However, once we move on past that town hall, players years from now won't see town hall 17 as this slog of infinite upgrades that they can't get through.
Absolutely.
Right. There's a lot of updates to town hall
I think that's
17.
an important topic because
there's been a lot of updates to
question,
town hall 17.
Because one of the concerns we've seen so far is, okay, temporary, but does that mean that that's the direction we're moving forward now? Like, are no longer seeing permanent upgrades for max town hall? Is that where we're going with now?
I mean, obviously not, right? Like, town hall 17 has tons of permanent upgrades. We have new levels for all the defenses in there, and we're going to do that with every new town hall.
And troops.
Temporary content is not meant to take away from permanent content. It's meant to be sort of, additive on top of it. And of course, players who are still progressing, you should prioritize the permanent content. Like, no one's going to tell you that the temporary that you should supercharge a gold collector before upgrading your monolith, right? Like, yeah, do your monolith,
right.
But you can understand the balance here, right? We want to make sure that once you're starting to run out of permanent content, there is something that you can keep investing into, keep having your builders active, because Clash is a progression game. It is fun to keep upgrading your base. We've noticed that when players do get maxed out, they get that little no more upgrades available on their builder hut. It's cool for about 2 weeks, and then it kind of is like, why am I battling? What am I doing this for? There's nothing more to progress on. So we want to make sure that we have a nice balance between a ton of progression for these maxed out players with 6 builders who are like looking for stuff to upgrade, but not making it so that a Town Hall 12 looks ahead and goes, I'm never gonna be able to get there.
Forget about Town Hall 12. Imagine like Town Hall 1, bro. You're a new player in Clash in 2025. Now, granted, like obviously they're not going to know about like how fast it is now, but just like looking at the levels from Town Hall 1 to Town Hall 17, you're just like, bro, I got to upgrade my Town Hall 17 times and everything like a million times. Hell nah. So yeah, also on the flip side, there's also players who do like being maxed though at the same time for at least a little bit. It's funny because like a lot of players are always saying like, I just got maxed. Now there's more content. So it's kind of like a funny, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though.
This allows us
where are you at
to
on this
new town halls filled with temporary content, and then aggressively cut the timers and costs of old town halls so that new players can get to those max town halls in maybe 2 years instead of 6 years.
Are we happy though?
Wow.
With the current situation in the sense of like costs, time, duration of the season? Is this like the place we're landing on? Is like, okay, this is good to go. We're sticking with this or not?
Season 1 is Season 1, right? Like anything, when you go out for the first time, you don't exactly know what the right mark is, so we decided on 3-month seasons. Maybe that's too long or too short. We're not really sure. Maybe 3 different building types. Maybe it should be 2. Maybe it should be 4. Maybe the upgrades should be fewer or more per level.
Or it's crazy.
Still working on that. So any of the tension we've seen in the community around these specific costs and timers, that's good. Let us know. Like, the more you tell us, the more we find out what the right numbers are, but nothing in this first season is locked in. One of the reasons we decided to do a 3-month season is that gives us plenty of time to see how players are doing and react to it for Season 2. When we make these 1-month, Gold Pass seasons, we're already working on the next season when this season launches, so it's hard to react quickly. But with a 3-month season, we can take these learnings from Season 1 and implement them right away in Season 2.
That makes sense.
That's a relief for a lot.
That makes sense. Yeah, this is this is not like the say all be all too. Like, it of course can always be adjusted, which is like the best part. And I think they said they were extending it, so until after Worlds.
Big concerns we've seen so far as well. So it's good that we're gonna react on whatever we're seeing, feedback and everything.
React.
So, yeah, please keep sharing
Reactinator.
feedback,
Yeah.
because as you said, it's the first season, right? It's really hard to just get things right on the first try. So we're gonna keep learning and adapting. I think we had a good discussion so far, but I think we can spice things up a little bit. And we need to bring
Ooh.
some of the questions and concerns from players.
Is it
that we've
such like a
seen
judo
so far
sloth?
everywhere. So, but to do that, I think we need to invite a special guest who's gonna take over and represent the community for us.
Is it judo?
He's here.
Oh, a new
Exactly,
community
Judo's
manager?
here today. So for
Wait,
this
who is it?
episode, we're gonna have Judo's Loft joining
Let's
us and representing the
go.
community. Thank you for being here today, Judo.
W Judo, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to asking the community's concerns regarding the crafted defense.
W Judo, bro.
Yeah, I know you're bringing some
That's
very
my goat.
interesting questions, so please fire them away.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say because, like you said, there has been a lot of concerns from the community. I think the biggest one that I've seen is from a free-to-play perspective. It just takes way too long to max one of these, that once you do, they're getting removed a short time after.
Yeah.
So do you have
There
any
is a lot of levels, bro. 30 levels for each is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna cap. I thought it was 30 levels for all of them all together. 30 levels each is kind of wild, though.
ideas on how to improve this?
To the community, we hear you loud and clear. As I mentioned with Ferry earlier, this first season is a test season in a way. Like, we're trying to see what the right amount of upgrades, costs, timers, and all that are. There are some things that we have planned for the next 1 or 2 updates that will address some of these concerns, but as we're recording just 10 days after the update came out, it's a bit too early for us to really confirm or promise anything specific for the next update. But
So
it
this
is
was
on our mind.
recorded
It's something we're
last
talking about every day, and
10 days after the update.
definitely
ago
we want you to
so?
be able to max out a crafted defense and use it and feel good about it for the duration of the season. So we're going to try to figure out ways to make that better for all players.
Yeah, I think maybe the communication on that side of things, that this is the first season, it's a test, this is the goals in mind, that could have definitely been given upfront. And now that we are in the position we are, we've seen a lot of solutions from the community on this, whether that be having
lot of
the
feedback.
defenses not all rotate out together, getting tokens towards the next season, making
Yeah.
sure you can upgrade more than one module at a time, or my favorite
That'd be
solution that I've
fire.
seen is where players would just get given a hammer for free to max one of the defenses. And what that would do is mean that free-to-play players aren't left behind. They almost get to look forward to this, that they get one of these defenses for free, and yet players that do invest money on the game, they do have the advantage of flexibility. It keeps maxed players having something to do, but you also get that balance between players that do spend money on the game and players that aren't able to spend money on the game. So what are your thoughts on any of those solutions, or like what do you have in mind?
Oh.
Those are all great ideas. And, Ferry does a great job collecting all the community feedback from all the different social media channels and funneling it to the team. We've had a lot of really intense discussions this week. It's, still right after release about which of this feedback we can do or not do. It's still a bit too early in the next update cycle to confirm anything.
Yeah, it hasn't even been a month yet.
We hear you, and definitely some of these ideas we really, really like. We just can't be specific right now in late June.
You
Real.
talked about it earlier in the episode, how one of your goals is to allow free-to-play players to actually catch up. However, a big concern that I've seen, and I did read one comment that was really well constructed, that said, yes, players quit the game when they are maxed. So this is good, to give them something to do. But a big subset of players will quit the game when they believe they will never be maxed.
Real.
So even though you are trying to allow people to go through the permanent content faster, people still want to max their base. And like, if they don't have the temporary content maxed, then they're not maxed in their eyes, right? And a lot of players seen this as a tipping point, as I'm never going to get to the point of getting that maxed. So
Real.
again, what do you feel about getting that balance of, even if it's mathematically possible, it's really that expectation that players can be maxed.
I know the solution, by the way, and Asher's gonna love this. Instead of making a bunch of home village content, they make some solid builder-based content. I know. You guys are gonna like that idea, right? I mean, it'll be maxed, right? I mean, builder-based can go kind of hard for this.
That I feel was maybe just thrown off a
Hear
bit
me
by
out.
this edition.
Yeah, we're still feeling it out. I will say that It's possible we go too far with temporary content. We are trying to find out what the right limit is for a max Town Hall player to stay and feel busy while keeping that sense that when we move to Town Hall 17, you're not going to have to do all the same stuff that a max Town Hall 17 player had done. So it's possible that crafted defenses kind of are the limit of temporary content, and that we'll have to pull back on cost, timers, whatever, to make it feel great for players. But we want to push the limits. We want to find out where that limit is instead of just stopping too early and having people constantly run out of content.
Yeah, well, I think that's great to hear that at least you are listening to the community. I mean, we have seen time and time again when you've made an addition and the community's response has not been great, that you fixed it. So I think there is a bit of trust and grace that you will make the appropriate adjustments here to get everyone happy. And I think we can also appreciate that you do need the time in order to see that data. But again, like, thank you for addressing the concerns. And it's great to hear that you are receptive of the feedback and that the frustration that people voice isn't just gone into the void, right? Like, you are really listening to it. You do want to improve the game. And I would obviously thank you on behalf of the community for actually listening and trying to improve things.
And of course, we have a perspective of this maybe longer term data that we've seen in the past. So just for context, there was about a 2.5-year period where we didn't do any more max town halls. And during that time, a lot of people ran out of stuff to do. We lost a lot of players. We started moving to the annual town hall updates because that gives a lot of content for people to at max town hall to get through, and just as they're running out, the new town hall comes out. But we were finding that even with one town hall a year, we had to rush a lot of updates out. We'd go, maybe we should add more Tesla Tower upgrades because people aren't going to have enough stuff between update 1 and update 2. So temporary content allows us to actually lessen the amount of permanent content that we do in every update. We can lean more on supercharges, crafted defenses, and not have it so that every update is just pushing as many permanent upgrades on you as possible. So we're hoping that we find a really nice balance of this, where players who want to focus on their permanent content find that they can actually complete all the permanent content between updates, and then they have some period of time to invest in temporary content. Of course, the most engaged players will do that faster and can really go all in on the crafted defenses and supercharges. And for players who are a bit more casual, they're able to get the permanent upgrade, have that sense of like, I am maxed on permanent content, and then optionally, how much more do I want to supercharge my base?
I think it is just always trying to get that balance for all players. Clash is a very global game. We have a huge amount of players that play the game in a different way, and that's a really good thing. But it's obviously trying to get that balance for everyone. And like I said, I have confidence. I'm sure you'll get there and achieve the team's goals, make this fun for everybody. And yeah, I just think maybe having the forefront communication in the future would be a good thing. And then also,
that was definitely
continuing to listen to the feedback and make the adjustments that you are. So thank you for having me on again. It's great to at least be able to voice all of those concerns from the community and hopefully get the answers that they desired.
Judo, bro.
Thank you for being here, Judo. Really appreciate your time and for representing the community here today. And you're also doing your interview series, right, this month?
Yes.
You already talked to some members of the team. Yours truly included. And there's more coming as well. So if you want to see a more in-depth conversation about this topic and more, actually, so go watch the video series. It's super cool. Seth is a guest and many other people from the team. So be there. Thank you, Seth, as well. Thank you for being here.
Of course, always happy to be here. And again, the community is what makes Clash one of the best games in the world. We want to be the biggest strategy game in the world. The only way to do that is a happy and healthy community. So keep giving us the feedback, and we're going to build this game together.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for addressing the community concerns again.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you in the next episode of Inside the Builder's Hut.
Wow. It's kind of cool they brought Judo on there, I'm not going to lie. They pretty much just addressed, I guess, the basic community feedback. They didn't really say what direction they were going into, though. Also, my honest thoughts is they pretty much talked to the whole entire time. Well, not pretty much. They did talk the entire time about crafted defenses and just temporary upgrades in general. Not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be more than that. Not that I'm disappointed or anything. But yeah, they didn't really give us much info to go off of. Other than the fact that they're taking in feedback, things can change, and yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see. They also didn't mention what the reward was gonna be when we max these things, or yeah, what they're gonna do, I guess. So I guess we gotta stay tuned for Judo Sloth's videos, I think, on his Judo Sloth 2 channel. So I'll be trying to react to that when he uploads some good content there. I usually react when I'm live, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, or kind of in the middle of it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the whole Inside the Builder's Hut. They really just kind of, talked about the crafted defenses and temporary defenses and upgrades in general. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Until then, I am out. Peace.